You're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. Welcome inside Pauley Pavilion here on the campus of UCLA for today's coverage of the top two teams in the Pac-12 as the 7-time NCAA champions UCLA welcome the 10-time national champs, the Utah Red Rocks. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark, and this is without question the most significant regular season meet for these two outstanding programs this year. Just look at the team comparisons. Right now, they are both tied for third in the NCAA rankings. One big difference, however, is that Utah has just 2 seniors. UCLA has 9, and one of their superb seniors is legendary Kyla Ross, who in her senior year is having another epic season, Kathy.
And her credentials certainly can speak for themselves. Olympic champion, world champion, NCAA individual and team champion. But what you will find even more impressive is how she executes near flawless gymnastics. She's fiercely calm, focused, and uncanny in her consistency on all 4 events.
She has 21 perfect 10s in her collegiate career, and she's on pace to challenge for the record, which is 28, held by Jenny Hansen from Kentucky. Remind everybody about the rules in dual meet competition, and we have a great one here today, I'll tell you that. 6 gymnasts per team will compete on each event. Just the best 5 scores will count towards their team total on each event. The home team gets vault, bars, beam, and floor as the Olympic rotation. So the Bruins will start on the vault, and the visiting Utah Red Rocks will open up on the uneven bars. The head coach at Utah is Tom Farden in his 9th season with the program. His 5th season as a Utah head coach. He shared that coaching responsibility last year with Megan Marsden, who retired. So this is his first year as the singular head coach, and he's doing a superb job with that team. They're undefeated. Now, there is Chris Waller in his 18th season at UCLA. Of course, he is picking up after the legendary Val Condos Field retired last year. So this is Waller's first season as their head coach. And both of these teams, they know this meet matters a lot. This is the one they both circle on their calendars, Kathy.
This is the kind of meet where you're going to see them be just a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, springier, more powerful. They're going to bring so much energy to this meet, and if they can keep their focus and get those cues locked in for the technical aspects of their gymnastics, it's going to be a great one.
Their final notes before they get ready to perform. There is the lineup for UCLA in the vault. There are the 6 athletes that will compete tonight for the Bruins. Felicia Hano and Kyla Ross are both competing in the all-around. Now, Kathy, a couple of notes here. The point of emphasis on vault. Absolutely.
The start value, that's the maximum possible score for any particular vault based on the level of difficulty. Some have 10-0 start values, some have 9.95. Of course, the amplitude set up by the block, the height, the distance, the bigness of the vault, and of course, that landing, and those are going to matter. We want
First
control
up,
and stuff.
Junior from Columbus, Ohio, Nia Dennis. Last week she had a 9.9 versus Arizona State.
And I know she can do a double twist. She's only doing the full here, and that is a huge vault. The block was superb off the table, and she set up height and distance that very well could be unparalleled here. Look at the height above the table. She finishes the somersault and the twist over the height of the table. Just that hop back they will have to deduct for the landing.
The first performer for Utah on the bars will be Miley O'Keefe, and she is a sensational freshman. You see the lineup there, the 6 athletes that get the call to compete for the Red Rocks tonight. She's out of Las Vegas and has a terrific international elite career, and now showing what she can do at the college ranks as well.
And you will see that elite technique, very straight body, opens up with 3 skills back to back to back. 2 of them releases. Here's the second one. Pack salto, slight leg separation down to the low bar. Nice handstand. That's exactly what the judges want to see, right on top of the bar. And a double Arabian dismount. There's their first stick.
Wow.
Fantastic job. Very difficult dismount, that half twist into the double front, but check this out. So much patience to hit this last handstand and really hold it. You have to be within 10 degrees of that vertical position for no deduction. Half in, double front, little bit of cowboy position with those legs out.
Tom Farden is happy with that start. Great leadoff performance for the visiting team. Back to the vault now. Gracie Kramer set to go, coming after Mia Dennis. Earned a 9.85 to lead them off.
And this is a 1.5 twist, 10-0 start value. Big vault, ooh, little straight-legged. Don't like to see those locked legs on the landing, but she managed it. Just a little bit awkwardly, slightly under-rotated. But again, this is that 10-0 start value. Judges are looking for tight form, legs straight. Her knees were just a little bit soft in the air, but she managed to control the landing somewhat.
Talk about the start that Utah had on bars. Miley O'Keefe, the freshman, a career-high 9.925 in their opening performance. That is impressive, and that sets up Emily LeBlanc from Holly Springs, North Carolina.
She'll start with a giant to a blind change, the half turn, sets up her single bar release. Big, beautiful straddle Jaeger. See if she can get this handstand. Not quite right on top of the bar. I think she was in the right position, though, to get no deduction. Gorgeous double layout. And they are so dialed in to the shape in the air that you need to find those stuck landings. Judges sit right on the side so they can really see how high these release moves are. She was a little bit close on the regrasp, so she had to bend her arms somewhat. Gorgeous form in that double layout. Legs together all the way, and perfect landing.
Back to vault now for UCLA. Gracie Kramer had a 9.85, and that brings up junior Kendall Poston from Foothill Ranch, California. Did her club training at Azarians Gymnastics.
Going to shift gears just a little bit here. This is a traditional entry, handspring vault into a front pike, half twist. Really well done. That's such a difficult vault to do well and to make it look big, and she did it beautifully. 10-0 start value. Watch the block all the way through the shoulders. Nice straight arms. Finishes the skill above the table. A little bit of a pike down, but everything else was so superb.
We expected great performances. We're getting them already. We go back to bars now for Utah. Get this. After Miley O'Keefe led them off with a 9.925, Emily LeBlanc, a 9.9 career high for her, and that brings up Crystal Issa. She'll be competing in the all-around today for Utah.
Open with a ray. That's a toe on to the reverse hex. Nice legs together on that bail handstand to low bar. She does straight body cast handstands. You rarely see those anymore. Beautiful full pirouette. That's exactly how you want to finish the pirouette and set up just another stuck landing.
Utah is doing exactly what the visiting team needs to do. They need to drill these landings in that first rotation.
And mainly because there's no subjectivity there. If they don't move their feet, there is no deduction. Look at this. Right on top of the bar, there's the first half of the pirouette, and she continues all the way around to finish the full, still in handstand. Excellent. Legs together, the little details, I'm enjoying seeing them really bring those forward in these routines.
Back now for UCLA on the vault. Kendall Poston had a 9.85. That brings up Paulina Trotz from Germany. She's a junior.
She's going to do a full twist in Yurchenko. This is a 9.95 start value, so really important for her to try to get the stuck landing, because you give up a half a tenth of a point with the start value.
You notice her height, she's 5'7". Kathy, you pointed out last night there's 3 gymnasts on UCLA's team that are 5'7". It's tall for a gymnast, and she is extremely powerful.
And you can use that height on this event as well. A very clean vault, a really good landing on that. It may not have been as big in terms of height and distance, but when you don't give away those deductions on landing, you can get a good score. Really worked hard here to try to get that straight body all the way through. A little bit of a pike down with the chest down, but she finessed that so well.
Back to Utah on the bars. Get this, Crystal Issa stuck her landing. 9.925, a career high. So 3 career highs so far for Utah on the bars. And that brings up freshman Abby Paulson from Anoka, Minnesota.
Open with the Maloney, right to that pack salto, down to the low bar. She has a little leg separations that happen throughout the routine. Those will be tiny deductions. And of course the step back, their first landing that wasn't the stuck landing.
Back to the vault now. Felicia Hano, 9.775 was the score for Polina Trotz.
Big vault, 1.5 twists, a pretty big hop forward. So she'll have to take that deduction on the landing. Let's see if she can maintained the straight body and gave up no form. Not bad height, over 4 feet above the table. Nicely done. Little bit shy of rotating that 1.5 all the way around. Of course, the jump on the landing, the hop, will be the bigger deduction.
Hano competing in the all-around today along with Kyla Ross for UCLA. You see the event rankings, the national rankings. Utah currently 6th on vault and bars. Their best ranked event is Beam, where they're 4th. And after struggling a bit last week on floor exercise, they dropped to 12th on floor.
Well, if you Google Bodyline, you may just get a photo of Missy Reinstotler. She has beautiful lines on this event. Keeps those toes pointed, very long swing, slight leg separation there down to the low bar. But very smooth on this event. Gorgeous final cast to handstand. Half in, half out, even with the toes pointed throughout the entire skill, but couldn't quite get the landing.
She's their top returning scorer on the uneven bars for Utah, the senior from Brick, New Jersey, and one of the 3 team captains, along with Sydney Solosky and Kim Tessin.
A little bit late on that pirouette, but nice form on her release move.
Kyla Ross set to go now for the Bruins, coming after Felicia Hano had a 9.875.
I love that she took that deep breath, eyes closed, set herself up for a great one. I just felt it coming. The way she can so fiercely but calmly focus, dial in those cues. That was as close to perfection as I've seen from her this season on this event. It's just big, beautiful gymnastics. So clean, so effortless. 4.5 feet above the table, stretches it all the way out to 7 feet, and just chest up, beautifully controlled landing.
Outstanding start for Kyla Ross for the Bruins. So she may go down in history as one of the greatest collegiate gymnasts of all time. She's off to a great start. Here is Kim Tessin now, the anchor performer for Utah. What a rotation they've had. Missy Reinstotler had a 9.9.
Beautiful straight body cast in this routine. Really showing off straight legs throughout. Sets up for the dismount. I know she wants a stick if they can finish strong like that.
Whoa.
Well done, dialed it in.
What an opening rotation for the visiting Utah Red Rocks.
Watch the pirouette right on top of the bar, exactly where you want to see it in that blind change. Well done. And the dismount, a full twisting double back, kicks it out, finds the landing.
So UCLA's team score is in on the vault. It is a 49.375, and look at the score for Utah on the bars. It's a 49.5, but it may go up depending on the score we get for Kim Tessin. So Utah will have the lead after the first of 4 rotations. This is the big meet of the year in the Pac-12 regular season. We're glad you've tuned in. This is a great one.
UCLA and Utah battling it out year in and year out. They push us and we push them. They know that when we're going to see each other, that both programs are going to bring their best.
Tom Varden said both programs going to bring their best. Well, guess what? That opening rotation was terrific. Both teams with season-high scores. The UCLA team on the vault with a 49.375, but a huge 49.6 for Utah on the bars, led by 4 career-high scores in that opening rotation. Hi, everybody. I'm Bart Connor, along with my fellow Olympic medalist, Kathy Johnson-Clark. In fact, it was just a few years ago we won our medals in this building, Kathy. It's good to be with you today.
Thank you. I think there's magic in this building. When you stick 4 out of 6 landings on bars and 4 career highs, that's why they're ahead. I
talk about this all the time, but this is the meet that they circle on their calendars at the beginning of the year. This rivalry is intense between Utah and UCLA.
You didn't even have to know that until you got here that they're rivals, because their gymnastics are showing that. It's intense.
All right, so we're underway. It's a great one here in sunny Los Angeles. The best rivalry in the Pac-12, and they are off to a hot start. We'll move to the next rotation where UCLA is number 2 in the nation on the bars, and Utah goes to the vault.
The first day he came in when he was named, and he said that he had to go back to his office and just take it all in. He said he got so emotional, and so for him to share that with us, I think we could really tell from that first moment that how honored he was and really excited to take on this new challenge.
The fact that the team just chose to embrace this new chapter wholeheartedly, and I could feel it, that their heart was in. I mean, I got a little choked up.
It's such an honor to carry on the Utah gymnastics tradition and legacy that it has been for so many years, and to be able to spread my wings now in this program. It's quite special to me.
Tom's very loud, he's intense, but he's always clapping and cheering, and he's definitely a good energy to be around.
Chris is just like a ball of energy. Some days he'll come in the gym and he'll just be yelling all over the place, in a fun way.
I think it's really important to have passion and energy every day in practice. If we could find a way to make every practice different and unique and important, and it's just the energy is coming from your heart, I think that lifts everybody up. And people are like, oh, cool, this is great, let's do this, because it's amazing.
Very excited to see Chris Waller taking over, of course, after Val Condos Field retired after 29 years, and Tom Varden, he took over after Megan Marsden retired after her reign with her husband together nearly 40 years at Utah. And so these two gentlemen are taking over the programs from 2 really prominent and successful women in the sport.
Absolutely, and what is so exciting, both of these 2 guys bring so much energy, enthusiasm, and passion, and they wear it on their sleeves. They wear it all over their bodies. Watch their body language. Watch them jump off the floor. It's fantastic.
They had been longtime assistants and now stepped up to run these programs. We wish them well. Sydney Solosky is really powerful. We'll see what she can do on the vault.
New to the lineup. This is a very well, Dart, she was dead set on sticking that vault, I could tell you. Yurchenko full, 995 start value. It wasn't huge in terms of amplitude, but she was so focused on getting this landing and not giving away any tenths of a point there.
One of the 3 team captains here for the Utah Red Rocks. Back to the bars, Alicia Hano. You see her season average. There is the lineup for the Bruins. Those are the 6 athletes that will compete on bars today in this terrific rivalry. Once again, Utah with a lead of .225.
Opens with her Ray. Big, beautiful. Whoa. That was completely unexpected. Normally that's a very big release move for her that she turns over nicely, and it looked like her hands were in position enough to catch the bar. So 0.5 of a point off for the fall, which is 45 seconds to get chalked up, get back into the routine. Look at the height. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. She's a little close. So you could tell from that replay, she was close. Her hands did not get over the bar. They went into the bar. So carry on here. Release, does the release again to get credit. Smart move, because otherwise your start value will suffer. Really nice final hands and a little leg separation there going into the dismount. What a shame, because the repeat of the skill was was exactly what I expected for the first time.
Hano, the senior from San Gabriel, California. This is her third time this season going for the all-around.
So that time she was right on top of the bar with that grip, getting those grips on top and the dowel over the bar to hold on.
One of their top returning scorers to this team for her work on vault and floor. Unfortunate error there in that opening performance. Back now to Utah on the vault. Sydney Solosky had a 9.825. This is Cami Hall.
Yurchenko 1.5 twist. She'll land facing away. Little under rotation. Probably got ahead of herself just a little bit, trying to think about that landing. It's the tricky thing about trying to stick a vault. You have to go big first, get the vault up and set it up so that you get the full rotation to be able to find that landing.
Big Monday starts with a big matchup between two of the top teams in the ACC as number 11 Louisville visits number 8 Florida State at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then we head to Big 12 country as number 3 Kansas hosts Oklahoma State from Allen Fieldhouse. Alicia Hano's score is in. It's a 9.25. It's a good time to remind our audience here that 6 athletes compete. You count just the best 5 scores. Opportunity here for Savannah Koyman.
An opportunity for UCLA to show what they're made of. They're ranked 2nd on this event. They need to compete like a 2nd-ranked team.
Been in the uneven bar in every lineup so far this season for the Bruins.
Way to step it up. Came up big. That's a great reset routine for UCLA. That's what you expect to see from a team that's ranked 2nd in the nation on the uneven bars. So her transition from low to high, it's a nice skill. And the pack salto right down to the low bar. Those back-to-back skills give her the bonus she needs for a 10-0 start value, and what a way to finish a routine.
Back now to vault. You see Ryan Statler coming after Cami Hall had a 9.65.
Yurchenko full. Beautiful lines. Big hop on the landing. But just like we saw in uneven bars, she has gorgeous straight body line.
You go back to the uneven bars, let's talk about some of the things the judges are looking for,
Well,
Kathy.
it's handstands, not just vertical, but perfectly straight line from the hands all the way through the shoulders, hips, and toes. Look for single bar and transition releases from bar to bar, and the dismounts, the level of difficulty, and of course, that landing.
Savannah Koyman, by the way, a 9.9 career high, so good effort. And like you said, Kathy, a great reset routine. Good opportunity here for sophomore Nora Flatley.
She has a really interesting skill right off the bat. Out of her giant swing, she's going to do a Higgins half turn into an eagle grip, right into a straddle Jaeger. Really nice form, execution. Beautiful work showing off these handstand positions. Nice flat back. All of the UCLA gymnasts really have that straight body. Whoa! Took that dismount way out. She kind of missed the release point. Had to get those feet up a little bit longer, but she managed it. It's a very difficult dismount, too. That Higgins roll right to the Eagles, really nice. Now check this out. Super difficult dismount. But she slings it out at us right here. Just let go a little too soon, but managed to stay straight in that layout and get the full twist in.
One of those dismounts she did in the warm-up, she went about 4 feet farther out and had to do a forward roll out of it. So at least she put it down on her feet, one of the toughest dismounts being done. Crystal Issa now coming after Ryan Statler had a 9.8.
Full twist, Yurchenko, really well done. That's just clean, solid gymnastics there.
I think this is the Utah trademark, really clean and solid. Like he said at the beginning, Tom Barton said, we don't quite have the big difficulty of some of the teams, but we want to be competitive with them in terms of clean execution.
And that's how they're getting it done so far. Next
up for UCLA on bars will be Kalyani Steele coming after Nora Flatley at a 9.825. Steele, the freshman from Colorado Springs.
Starts with a Maloney. Comes right back down with a Pax Salto. Little leg separation on both of those elements. It's something to keep in mind. Those judges sit on the side, so those kind of flaws. Look at that. Okay. No question in our mind. She hit that handstand and held it. Double layout. Found the landing. Excellent routine.
Chris Waller trying to get this crowd pumped up. Steele, this is her favorite apparatus. Twice this year she's had 9.85. She might go higher today.
Okay, rules don't say you have to hold the handstand, but look at this. It's a straight line. Just ramrod straight, like an arrow. Finds that landing. Chris Waller loved it.
Kaliani Steele, what an impressive effort for the freshman. Back to Utah on the vault now. Alexia Birch is a junior from Sparks, Nevada, coming after Crystal Issa at a 9.8. No huge scores yet for Utah on this event.
But they've got back-to-back 1.5s coming up now. This is the first of the last two. Almost sold that stick, but not quite. Those feet slid forward. But a big vault, nice distance from the table. Watch for the form. See if she keeps the legs together a little apart on the pre-flight. Slightly soft knees, then fought so well on that landing. Good for her.
Utah doing a solid effort so far in this meet as we go back to the bars for UCLA. Madison Koshin, the senior, and boy, talk about a pedigree of one of the finest bar workers in the world. She struggled a bit with shoulder injuries and hasn't been able to have a really clean, consistent season because just every time you turn around, she's having another surgery, Kathy.
But when you watch her do bars, you're not going to know that. She has really nice technique. Watch this first skill. It's a Stalder into her release transition. Very few gymnasts in college do that skill. She does it extremely well. Nice job keeping those legs together on her pack. Really working the form here. Showing off the handstand. She can get the dismount. Tuck, full twisting double. Oh, big over rotation. I noticed that in warm-ups. Her legs just aren't quite there to really have the strength for those landings.
By the way, the score for Kaliani Steele before her, a career-high 9.925. So after the first miss for the Bruins, they've had 4 solid hits, and it'll come down to Kyla Ross, their final performer on bars.
It's sort of unfortunate they can't give her some tenths back for the excellent technique, and they'll have to take that deduction for a big, big step back. Notice how the legs just kept bending instead of stopping herself, not bending so low.
This is team captain, senior Kim Tessin.
Okay, that's a little vault with a big personality. I love it. It's like a cute 1.5 twist. It's not huge, but when you can stick the vault, she's not a huge gymnast, so it's not going to look as big. She doesn't give it a big giant block, but she manages to finish the skill, level with the table, and not move her feet.
She's coming after Alexia Birch, had a 9.9, so expect a good score there. Back now to UCLA on the bars. Look at that average, 9.961. Kyla Ross, #1 in the NCAA on bars this year so far.
And this routine is just perfection. She has amplitude, technique, perfect form. It is designed to have absolutely 0 flaws. She can do it in her sleep. Check out the double layout here. Gorgeous position. Oh, darn, she had a 10 until she took that little
Sure
hop.
did.
Oh, and I don't usually say that because people that know me, I can usually find those tiny little flaws. There were none until that moment. Handstand just perfectly straight. She held it on top of the bar. Look how her head is in line with her arms. Gorgeous double layout. She nailed him in the warm-ups, just slightly over-rotated.
Coach Tom Farden from Utah, really impressed with your team here in the first couple of rotations. First of all, 4 career highs on bars to get you started, and then not as impressive on vault, but how do you assess your team at this point, Tom?
Well, midway through, we thought we started off really hot on bars and really pleased with that. And then vault, we were having a little problems finding some of those landings, but I think our last two athletes did a nice job. Actually, a little bookended. Sydney started off with a really well-controlled landing, and then I thought our last two, Alexia Birch and Kim Tesson, did a really great job.
So talk about landings, because now you go to floor exercise, and each of them have, what, 3 landings that they've got to really focus in on. What are you going to tell your team as they go to floor?
You know, every arena has a different feel to it. So one thing we were addressing in the warm-up part of our day was making sure that we're turning over that tumbling and being really tall, and then being visual and coming down on top of it.
Well, congratulations, Tom. Your team has a lead of .125 as we go to the second half of the competition.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Go Utes.
Great gymnastics today from Pauley Pavilion. The 2 top teams in the Pac-12, they are intense rivals, and we have a close one today. Come back.
Utah is unbelievably competitive, and the coaches have always been competitive, and they want to win badly. We've had that same standard of excellence, and so it's like just 2 programs that want to win so badly. It's fun to battle.
You're watching the Pac-12 on ESPN. At the halfway point in this competition, the Utah Red Rocks have the lead by .125 over the home team, UCLA. They had to come from behind after a fall on the uneven bars, but 2 career highs helped them keep it close. So this one, we predicted at the top of the show, was going to be close, and we have an important rotation coming up now, Kathy.
Welcome
because UCLA will be on the beam, and Utah goes to the floor. And these are the 2 events where these 2 teams have struggled.
Yes, they have, but they're excellent on this event, too. So this is an opportunity for UCLA to really bounce back from the struggles that they've had on balance beam. Welcome to the Battle of the Beams. You've heard of Battle of the Bands. I'm telling you, UCLA needs to put it down right now.
Utah, in fact, one of their highest ranked events in the NCAA is beam. They're 4th in the country. UCLA currently ranked 22nd, so they have shown some inconsistency here. So they trail Utah here at the halfway point, and if they want to win the meet today, it's likely going to come down to how well they do on beam right now.
Their leadoff performer is perhaps one of the best leadoff balance beam performers in the country. Grace Glenn is gorgeous on this event. Extraordinary flexibility. You'll see in both her dance elements and in her acrobatic elements. Full split. Even here on the back handswing layout step out, solid as can be.
She loves that leadoff spot, and in fact, twice she scored 9.975 in a leadoff spot.
The pictures that she creates on this event, not just the poses, but in flight, you could take a photo mid-air and find a gorgeous shot. Perfect flexibility, maintains toe point throughout the entire leap, and keeps the rhythm and pace. And just in case you didn't know she was flexible, and the dismount, gainer for what a fantastic routine to start this rotation off. They have been calling for a 10-0 for so many meets in the leadoff spot.
Have you ever seen a 10-0 in a leadoff spot?
Look at this. As I said, the full split mid-series. You can't catch her in a bad position. Woohoo, this is exciting.
Oh my goodness, just what the Bruins needed. We'll wait for her score, but in the meantime, we're back over to the floor because Utah has Abby Paulson ready to go. And there it is! It's a 10! A leadoff 10! And the music plays because Abby Paulson for Utah is getting set to go on a floor routine. Oh my goodness.
This is what gymnastics rivalry is all about. Through all that, she has got to maintain her energy, her focus. Front layout, front full.
Abby Paulson, the freshman from Anoka, Minnesota, really showing a lot of focus here, as you mentioned. She's 14 for 14 on her performances this year for the Red Rocks. Of course, the whole building just erupted with the first perfect 10 in a leadoff spot in NCAA history.
Nice control on the final tumbling run. And a nice lead-off performance for Utah. And with all of that going on, and trust me, had this been in Utah and Utah got a 10-0 on the opening routine, it would be going crazy just like this. Her opening pass, a high pike double back. Look at the amplitude. Little lack of control on the landing, and sliding back like that will cost about a tenth of a point. But really regained the control, showed off beautiful leaps in that routine.
Showing the Utah U. Utah has the lead, but the critical event for UCLA, as we said, will be the beam. And here, after a perfect 10 leadoff for Grace Glenn, is an opportunity for sophomore Samantha Sotke.
Absolutely, you want to use the energy they just built and created with that 10-0, but you've got to focus. Look at that! Standing layout. Love the unique aspect of that series.
She's been in the beam lineup 5 times this season for the Bruins. Her season high 9.95 was in the first meet of the year.
She's given away a couple of balance breaks so far in this routine. Nothing major, but significant enough that they will add up. Much better on those leaps. She'll dismount with a side aerial into the full. Good control on the landing, got it back in that routine. As I said, early on there were a couple balance breaks, one where she even lifted the foot. Her series is just the best part of this routine, to do a standing layout into a second layout. Really nice. Just the balance check, strong finish.
Crystal Issa, the sophomore from Henderson, Nevada, set to go now for Utah.
Now, as things get intense here, as I mentioned, there are 3 landings in most of these floor routines where they have to really show control, because that's where you can just chip away at a score.
Leadoff performer Abby Paulson had a 9.8.
With a tuck double back. Judges are looking for that chest up high. Very good control. Combination pass here, 1.5 twist. The front layout, nice amplitude. See how the second somersault lifted.
We talked about how beam was a crucial rotation for UCLA. In this rotation for Utah, it's floor. Ranked 12th in the country. They had a shaky performance last week against Oregon State, but they look strong today so far.
There's 2 really good landed tumbling passes. Let's see if she can get the last one here. It's a pike double back. 10th of a point bonus for doing a double back at the end. Really good landings. Great routine. The only thing I really saw was on the leaps, maybe just a little lack of toe point and full split, but the rest, those landings, really superb. So So the judges look for these leaps. They have to complete the turn. She's a little bit short on both of those jumps. Really nice on the pike double back.
Nora Flatley now for the Bruins on beam, coming after Samantha Sotke had a 9-8. So their two scores so far over there, a perfect 10 and a 9-8. Remember, Utah led UCLA by a 1.125 coming into this rotation.
Nora's flexibility is so obvious even in her acro skills. Very difficult front aerial to a back pike. Her details are so nice, straight legs, pointed toes. So straight on that side aerial. I love this turn. You have to do a full turn on one foot, but you don't have to do the more difficult one that she did with the leg up. Beautiful, beautiful positions in those leaps.
Flatley, the sophomore from West Des Moines, two-time member of the U.S. national team.
This is a lovely routine. If she can get the landing here, 1.5 just, woo, that was better than her warm-ups. Much better on the landing. A little stiff-legged, have to see it again to really see if she got the stick.
Beam is her favorite apparatus, a season high of 9.95 this year.
Slight soft of the legs on that, but I love that combination. Very difficult from the front aerial to the back pike. And just little side hop. Hard to see from the side.
So 3 hit routines for the Bruins on this crucial event in this third rotation. The beam, Utah, Adrienne Randall next up. Crystal Issa, a career high 9.925.
I know Adrienne is training a full twisting double back for this opening pass. I'm not sure if she's going to do that here. She may just do the double tuck. Tuck double back. On these landings, you want to see them land on 2 feet, and when they go into the lunge, that front foot does not slide back. Nice job getting those leaps all the way around, the full turns in the air.
She's hit 11 for 11 routines this season and 38 for 38. She's never missed in collegiate gymnastics, a sophomore from Corona, California.
Strong finish. There's much better landing, just perfect control on the pike double back. Combination pass to end. Back 1.5 front layout, dances right out. Nice. So she does a combination pass for the last. The back 1.5 twist to a front layout. That second layout should go up just a little bit higher.
As we get set to see Nikki Shapiro on beam, let's talk about some of the things the judges are looking for,
Well,
Kathy.
you look at the level of difficulty in both the dance and the acro skills, and of course the amplitude and form, and then the connections when you combine those skills. We've already seen them combine some already, very difficult elements.
She competed for the Bruins back in 2016 and then left gymnastics and rejoined the team this year. Great to see her in the lineup.
Really nice switch leap to switch leap, not an easy leap series. Triple series, 2 back handsprings, lay out, step out, solid. You'll see all the UCLA gymnasts smile throughout the routine. That's something former coach Val Condosfield strongly demanded, really, of these athletes, not just for performance, but for relaxation. Lovely routine, nice choreography, and another stuck landing for UCLA.
4 hit routines for the Bruins. As we said, this was the crucial event. If they're going to win it today, they're doing their part, and Shapiro did a terrific job.
You can really see how you have to square your hips, your shoulders, keep that torso completely straight with the beam. What fight on that landing. Well done.
Jillian Hoffman now, after Adrienne Randall had a season-high 9-9. So Utah, 3 great scores, 9-8, 9-9, 2-5, and 9-9 so far.
Can open with a double layout. Straight body all the way around. Excellent landing.
Hoffman, the freshman from Murrieta, California.
Flat-footed going into the leads, pretty in the air if she just holds that toe point a little bit more. Back 1.5. Nice on the first one, unfortunately mistimed the punch. Oh, what a shame. Emily LeBlanc on beam so beautifully executes both the dance skills and the acrobatic skills here. She uses her height and her really nice posture.
She's been in that leadoff position all season long for Utah at a 9-9 career high versus Arizona State earlier this year.
Her acrobatic series, handspring layout, step out. Had to check the balance there and really a balance break. Nice floaty front aerial to really nice split jump. Really like how she goes up high on toe. Beautiful work so far on beam. Back 1.5 twist, step on the landing. Gave up a few deductions in there, mainly that first balance break where she turned to the side.
LeBlanc, the junior from Holly Springs, North Carolina, transfer from Maryland, has hit 12 for 12 this year. UCLA Bruins. Here are their event rankings. As we mentioned earlier, beam was the one where they'd shown some inconsistency, and they rocked beam in that last rotation. And here is where they are #1 in the country, and it's going to start off with Nora Flatley.
And this is such a character-driven routine. Think Mulan meets Black Swan. Front layout to a Rudy. Has such a connection, not just to their choreography and the music, but to their fans in the stands. Front double twist. Ring position, and on the switch half. I love the dramatic flair in this routine. Really like that turn out of that last tumbling pass. Finishes with the black swan. A little coquettish look to the judges. How are you going to resist that?
She had a season high 9.95 a couple of weeks ago at Washington. Wow.
This is just fun. It's too bad this event has to be judged. Lovely look from above.
She is always the life of the party. If you have seen her on the sidelines, she's always sort of, you know, igniting her teammates and dancing and celebrating the whole time. Back now to beam for Utah. Emily LeBlanc had a 9.8. This is Alexia Birch, the junior from Nevada.
Handspring layout, step out. Lovely straight legs in the air. Watch this jump here, double stag, ring.
She scored 4 9.875s in a row on beam in the last 4 meets.
Looked like just a slight little check of balance there. I'm not quite sure. Gainer full off the side. Very secure routine from start to finish.
Utah doing what they need to do. They have the lead in this 4th and final rotation. And they have 2 hits so far.
Really like how straight she keeps her legs throughout the entire series. Simple, but well executed gainer for this one.
Chloe Lashbrook will be next up for UCLA on the floor, the freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona. We talked about how there are 9 seniors on this team for UCLA, but there are 4 freshmen that have made an impact already this year.
So from the Black Swan to Bollywood. Nice variety in these routines. Top double back to start. To front layout. A little bit short of the split position on her leaps. Double back. Very good control on all of her landings. Not the huge height that we'll see from some of the tumbling passes, but not giving things away as well. Nice to see. Smiled throughout the entire routine. Of course, we've seen so many more double backs at the end of the routines this year. They get a 1/10 of a point bonus for performing it at the end of the routine.
BJ Das likes it. BJ Das. Back to the beam now for Utah. Miley O'Keefe coming after Alexia Birch has a career high 9.95. So Utah has a 9.8 and a 9.95 so far in this final rotation.
Side aerial to lay. Oh, and I love that that series too. She hit it so well in the warm-up. She just, you can see the nerves creep in just a bit here. Getting back into her rhythm, which is really the special part of this routine. I like the rhythm, the tempo of this routine. This really is her specialty. Love the details. I love when those feet come off the beam, they point. Cat leap, side aerial, full dismount. Really good parts of that routine. Unfortunately, that gorgeous acro series had trouble on the landing. Such a difficult pass. The side aerial, you're turning in the air over the beam. Just couldn't quite follow through as strongly as I've seen her follow through and finish on it, and was just slightly off to the left side. Fought to stay on though.
But as fitting all day, it's 168.05. These two teams are dead even, and we get ready to see the floor exercise. Here's a great chance to talk about what the judges are looking for.
Well, they're going to look for the difficulty in the tumbling, and of course the artistry in the dance and the landings, all important. But right now, she's going to make you forget about all of that, because she can perform the heck out of this routine.
Mia Dennis, the junior from Columbus, Ohio.
I love that pass. Front layout, step out, tumbles through to the double back.
Update the scores for UCLA. Nora Flatley had a 9.925 and Chloe Lashbrook a career high 9.9.
Look at the height, the amplitude on those leaps and jumps. Really gets in the air. Now she just had a little personality.
This is what UCLA is known for. Party time.
Nice height on those layouts. Split jump. What a fun routine.
Fabulous.
That was just all fun.
Wow, she has a season high of a 9.95, and that was just a treat from start to finish, Kathy.
Yeah, and I like it. It was like she grew up going to Battle of the Bands. I think I just loved this whole energy. So much fun in this arena right now. And she can just turn her personality on and let it shine. The whole routine, good height on the Rudy, good control. It's really easy to take that leap way back, and she went up, so good for her. Oh. I don't know if that's for the score.
Well, as UCLA celebrates a big score, we'll get the final one in 9.975. Once again, Utah having to keep their composure because Crystal Issa is on the beam coming after Miley O'Keefe and a 9.9. And by the way, Utah's great on beam so far.
Yes, triple series there, very difficult. And this is actually a little duck walk there too, good for her. This is such good preparation. We're approaching postseason with the regionals coming up, and it is a wild atmosphere of those regional meets with a lot of pressure. So this is great for these teams to feel this kind of pressure in this kind of energized environment.
You know, she competed in the all-around for the first time this season against Oregon State, had a 9.95 on beam.
Well, she just came up big for them here. Great routine, good difficulty. Love this candle mount. Dives backwards blindly, just trust the beam's going to be right where it needs to be to hit that position. Two layouts, good form throughout, just a just a baby little check of balance there. Nice amplitude on the gainer full.
Obviously, these two teams enormously close as we come down to this final rotation. Less than a tenth of a point separating them. It brings up Gracie Kramer coming after Nia Dennis, got a 9.975. Lots of folks in Pauley Pavilion were hoping to see a 10, but Gracie Kramer is the kind of person who could deliver that 10.
And she was just smiling like an I got a secret kind of smile. Well, welcome to her nightmare. She's the bad guy in her own nightmare. I think we're invited in. Front double full to front pike. Beautiful set on the back 1.5. So improved on her jumps. The only thing that needed work in this routine. Watch this. Snap. I love it. It is just the right amount of creepy and so cool. It's literally like going inside her mind, and that's where this routine came from. Somewhere in the recesses of her mind. I don't know what her nightmares or dreams are like, but we just experienced them. But the amplitude on the tummy was so seamless in and out of her dance. And I don't know if she's like trying to make it stop or... Oh, what an adventure.
So while UCLA is throwing a party on floor, by the way, Utah is crushing it on beam. Crystal Issa, a 9.95, the second career high score for them there. Adrian Randall.
First series, the handspring layout step out, very solid. Sheep jump, one of the more difficult jumps on beam, especially to make it look good, but also do it to get full credit.
See why Utah is the number 4 ranked team on beam in the country. Very precise, and typically for Utah, very clean.
Oh, everybody loves that skill. Rafalova, it's a back handspring with a full twist into a swing down. She does it really well. This is another great routine for Utah. They are handling the pressure, the intensity here. Oh, just a little scoop back. I thought she had the stick. Looked like she had it in the down position, and when she went to stand up, those feet had to scoot back. This is such a fun skill. She does it well. And right here, thought she had the perfect landing. Looked like she was going to control it, and then just scooted those feet back.
So impressed with Utah's work on beam in this final rotation. 2 9.95s and a 9.9. Their 3 highest scores over there. As we go back to floor where UCLA's party continues. Gracie Kramer had a 9.975, and here is Felicia Hano.
And now it's Fiesta time. Opens with a really nice double layout. is so fun every time she does it. The double stack right to that piece in the music. Back, love the landing. Wow, great routine. They are on fire.
The lowest score so far for UCLA on floor is a 9-9. They have two 9.975s.
This is so exciting, going back and forth between great beam routines, great floor routines. Look at that double layout. And to finish so strong. Love the reaction of the teammates, the coaches.
And a huge opportunity now for Utah. Adrienne Randall had a 9.975 career high. Abby Paulson will get that anchor position. Look at their scores. The lowest is a 9.8, which they'll drop, of course, if Paulson can score higher. But Utah already has a team score of 197.875, and it could go even higher.
Aerial cartwheel layout, step out. That difficult acro series done well. Nice job not rushing, staying right in her rhythm. Jump to side aerial, right into the dismount.
Beautiful.
Woo! Got a stock landing.
So impressed with how Utah has handled the pressure. There are a lot of people in this building hoping UCLA wins this one, but I gotta say, Utah has crushed this final rotation on beam.
Such a difficult series and so well done. Little beat jump, side aerial. This is when you're glad the judges sit on the side because she lands with her feet apart. If they can see that, it'll be a slight deduction.
More than half of their scores coming from underclassmen. And Utah doing a superb job as we go back to floor for the final performer for the Bruins. Felicia Hano had a 9.95, that's her season high. And here is the one and only Kyla Ross.
This is another fun routine. It's kind of a money theme, UCLA dance party, but watch, whip back there, no hands. Double back, and
Utah is celebrating over on beam because the score is in for Abby Paulson. A 10. What a finish for the visiting Red Rocks as Kyla Ross is going through her final routine on floor. This is unbelievable.
so exciting for them, and Kyla is killing it so far here. And with the pike double back, she's usually pretty uncanny at finding these landings. Really
What
well
a
done.
finish!
What an amazing competition.
We had hoped it would be close, and outstanding performance for UCLA in the final rotation. on a perfect 10 for Utah, for Abby Paulson. Let's take a look at this final run.
Such a pro at this, finding these landings, meet after meet. She is just money on every single event.
And even though it was a superb performance for Kyla Ross and UCLA, Utah will stay undefeated. They, with that perfect 10 on beam, will win it. They're waiting for the official scores to come in. They're 8-0 on the season, 4-0 in the Pac-12, and there it is! Oh my! It is official. The score in for Kyla Ross, a 9.975. She needed more than a 10 for UCLA to win. So what a huge victory for the visiting Red Rocks. And Tom Farden, in his first year as the head coach, the most intense rivalry in the Pac-12, and Utah gets a huge win down here in LA at Pauley Pavilion.
For many of our members, being prepared.
Johnson Clark, you and I will be there. What a terrific day. We had hoped it would be close, and it doesn't get much closer than that. Utah comes in and sneaks away from Pauley Pavilion with a victory, a 198.075 over the home team's 198.025. And boy, there were some highlights.
Oh, absolutely. Grace Glenn, leadoff performer, first time ever to get a 10.0 from that position. She's been working toward it all season long. So excited for her. And Abby Paulson, what a moment of intense competition. The whole team meet was on the line. She did difficulty and fought all the way through. Watch her hold on to that dismount. That could have easily been a step, and she nailed it.
So what a thriller. The Utah Red Rocks are 9-0. They're 4-0, undefeated in the conference. And what a thrilling performance today. Kathy, we've been to a lot of great meets here at Pauley Pavilion, and this was one of the best I've seen.
I don't think I'll forget it. It was so energized from the very beginning, and I watched them get just so tight with their focus because they knew it was going to come down to those half-tenths of a point. And they both hit a 198. Amazing.
So a thrilling afternoon of gymnastics from Pauley Pavilion in Los Angeles. Utah remains undefeated with a score of 198.075. They beat UCLA, who had a 198.